Всем здорово, народ, с вами Амулур. И мы продолжаем проходить Kingdoms of Amalur. Но тут такое дело, что я в эту игру не заходил. Ну, я сегодня просто зашел посмотреть с 27 августа. А сегодня, соответственно, у нас 4 января 2017, а я здесь не был с 27 августа 2016. Причина всему World of Warcraft Legion. Да, именно поэтому так медленно выходят выпуски и прочее. Но там, на самом деле, было отснято достаточно много прохождений, но их просто очень медленно выкладывают там. 25 частей я вроде бы успел отснять до того, как вышел Легион. Но так уж получилось, что я засел за эту игрушку как раз перед выходом Легиона. И вот только сейчас мне надоел Warcraft, и я наконец-то вернулся к повседневности, к этим играм. Вот. Ну ладно, это такое предисловие, потому что я могу сейчас жестко рачить. Я ни хрена не помню, я пересмотрел свое последнее прохождение, чтобы, ну, хоть что-то вспомнить. Ай, ё-моё, это просто угар. Так, ладно. Мне нужно понять. Но я понимаю, что сейчас убил эту какую-то там деву. И что мне нужно дальше? Так. Это вот наш основной курс. Так, фракции. Какая-то еще ерунда. Не имею понятия, что мне дальше делать. Не помню ни хрена. Так, ладно. Попробую сориентироваться так по карте. Ну и куда мне нужно идти? Так, что мне тут? Давай, на выход, на выход, на выход. Так, мы вышли в леса. Это был этот двор. Кого тут? Если это двор. Так. Дом песен. Дом песен называлось. Так, извините. Слушайте, а квест у нас тут. Квест отмечен будто бы здесь у нас. Ну окей, пошли сюда, значит. Нужно кому-то присоединиться. Ну я помню, там была какая-то вроде бы эльфийка или типа того.
Glynal, I assure you it's an ancient codex, just like in the tales.
Intriguing. He has claim over many stories, but still, why would the codex reveal itself to a child of dust?
Так, значит, надо, наверное, с ней поговорить.
And here I was beginning to think that you'd never show up. This is Glynal, lore master of the House of Ballads. Give the codex over to him, and he may have your answers.
Так, война.
You haven't been around much, have you? The Tuatha have been pressing west from their home in Alabastra. Right now, they're only threatening my people. But if we fall, the Tuatha will turn their eyes to the other mortal races.
Судьба.
A close friend once told me, strive to be whatever you want to be. Fate might be a lie, but if it isn't, then worrying about it won't change a thing.
Кодекс судьбы.
The Codex of Fate is no simple lore stone. It's more subtle and complex than any mortal could comprehend. But a lore master of ballads may be able to interpret it.
Туата.
The Tuatha are a radical sect of Fae within the Winter Court, led by Gadflow and his insane rants about their new god. They've taken power and declared war on mortals. They use raw prismia to enhance their power, and their devotion borders on madness. But the most terrifying thing to the Fae is simply the fact that their siblings have changed so completely.
Призмер.
We've known for a long time that Prismere crystals allow us to store and focus magical power. The gnomes use it in their grander inventions, when they can get it. But we have no idea how Gadflow got a hold of so much of it. It makes his Tuatha the most dangerous army I've ever seen.
Так, Глей... Now.
Glional's one of the greatest
Glional.
balladeers amongst the Fae, and the most learned lawmaster you'll find outside of Issa. And as it happens, he owes me a favor.
Так, Дом песен.
The Fae do not have a written language, so their tales are their lifeblood, their history, and their future all in one. The House of Ballads is where they enshrine these legends and celebrate them, time and again.
Доккалфар.
We are the charmed, the subtle, and the
Это ее
inspired.
раса.
In happier days, we were the loftiest of the mortal races. We despise open war. But for decades, the Tuatha have been at war with us, pushing into our lands and forcing us to take up arms.
Так, Летний двор.
The Summer Court, or the Seelie Fae if you prefer, embody the growth and energy of nature, but they can still be as aloof and uncaring as a brutal summer day. The current High King of the Fae is Titarian, the wisest of the Summer Court. While Gadflow has undermined the Winter Court, he tries to keep their cycle in balance.
Так, кто тут еще? Титарион.
Titarian isn't quite what you'd expect from the High King of Summer, but he hasn't got the arrogance of his cousins, or their cheer. Ever since Gadflow killed the High King of Winter and started the war, Titarian has become distant and melancholy, and blind to the dangers around him.
Двор зимы.
The Winter Court, or the Unseelie, embrace the destruction and decay of nature. They aren't evil, but they aren't exactly the best of friends. Normally they share power peacefully with the Summer Court. But since the Tuatha have seized power, there is neither peace nor predictability.
Элиншир.
I'm a woman of many talents, and we're all taught that we must use our talents for the greatest good, right?
Эльф.
For a long time, they were content to keep to their play of the summer and winter courts. Now we fight Gadflow and the Tuatha for our very existence.
Этот эльф может мне помочь?
Lore Master Glional has devoted centuries to the study of lore and ancient Fae stories. The codex you found isn't just any lore stone. Just talk to him, and I'm sure he'll be able to shed some light on the issue.
Окей.
Be on your way.
I was unaware that you were associated with Lady Shear. She speaks very highly of you. An occasion rare enough to be worth recording in its own right. But let's see this codex. Perhaps another of your tales will be written within.
Вы можете это объяснить?
The fabled Codex of Destiny. When the Fate Weavers formed their order, our High King gave his own wisdom to assist them. To have such knowledge in your hands is a tremendous gift, but why did it reveal itself to you?
Потому что у меня нет судьбы.
If you had told me such a thing before your adventure with the Maid of Windermere, I would have doubted you. Now, I can make out some parts, but this is odd. The Codex speaks of an exception, a void, an end to the endless. This is simply too much. The High King would never pawn such absurdity off as wisdom.
Уверяю вас, это реально.
I'm sure you think it is. I fear you must have been taken in by a forgery. A perfectly created one, perhaps, but a forgery nonetheless. But this codex speaks of impossible things, changes to fate, death of the immortals, and other heresies. To ascribe these lies to the High King would be... I'm sorry, but I must ask you to take it away. I will have no part in these lies.
Он не может смириться с изменением порядка жизни. Уверена, что кодекс подделка.
Is there a meaning to it? Only its author could tell you.
Godflow.
He is an offense to our people. He upsets the natural order, and his war breaks the cycle. I will speak no more of him.
Окей.
Do not bother me with such foolishness again.
Lionel spends his life cherishing old stories, but show him something truly new, and he dismisses it. Tragic.
Что теперь делать?
First of all, we ignore this fool. Most Fae aren't comfortable with change, and you are certainly something new. I'm afraid that only one person will really be able to help us with the Codex. The High King himself.
Как мне с ним увидеться?
It will be difficult. His court is in the city of Isa. Very few mortals are permitted in its gardens. I do know one individual who can grant you permission to enter, but you'll have to meet him alone.
Почему в одиночестве?
Nirelem is a private person, and he carries a grudge against me. Although perhaps person isn't the right word for him, nor is him. You'll find him in southeast Dalentoth at Caer Nirelem. Just head towards the giant tree, and, well, you'll see.
Так, Ниралим.
Nirelem is the oldest living mortal. He remembers the time before even the Fae called these lands home. You should see how they cherish him. He rarely grants an audience to visitors. His tenders say he knows the future as well as the past. It makes him very particular about what he says.
Кодекс судьбы.
That codex isn't just a complicated law stone. It seems to tell a tale most Fae don't want to hear. And created by High King Titarian himself, no less. Interesting.
Что случилось с Верховным Королем? Я даже не помню.
None of us could have foreseen the rise of Gadflow and his army, but we should have.
По-хорошему, мне надо бы пересмотреть все прохождение свое, чтобы все вспомнить. Но у меня несколько времени.
But he's lost the moment he faces something truly new. Pathetic.
Надо сейчас за эти выходные январьские попробую добить. Так, отправляемся к Ниралиму.
You'll have to meet him on your own. I'd accompany you, but Nirelem and I have our disagreements.
Okay.
Good luck with Nirelem, and ignore anything he says about me.
Так, мне бы вообще найти, как я понимаю, какого-нибудь вендора, которому можно было бы что-нибудь продать, что мне нафиг не надо. Мне надо попробовать, наверное, разобраться опять в механиках одежды и прочем. Так, значит, доспехи. Я сейчас... Тут как-то ж можно добавить мусор, да? Значит, доспехи. Сравнить. Так. Значит, добавить мусор. Ай, да и тебя добавить мусор, да. Шон дома песен пускай будет. Так, так, тоже добавить мусор. Так, на мне где-то 16, 12, надо. Добавить мусор и тоже добавить мусор. Тебя добавить мусор, тебя оставим. Так, тебя тоже добавить мусор, тебя тоже добавить мусор и тебя добавить мусор. Тебе, я думаю, тоже можно добавить мусор смело. Так, это тоже мусор, и это в мусор. Это в мусор. Так, эту хрень в мусор. Так, а вот щит дома, он вроде как выглядит поинтереснее, чем то, что я только что носил. Так что это в мусор и это в мусор. Отлично. Так, украшения. Что у нас тут? На этом одето. Так, оружие. Так, ладно. У меня одет молот. Он дает через 1 физический урон, 12 критический урон. Так, 35 физический урон, 14. Так, ну, блин, этот молот, конечно, топовый. Меч близко к нему. Так, ну, тебя, я думаю, можно тоже скинуть в мусор. Так, и тебя выкинуть в мусор. Где выкинуть мусор? Так, это мусор, мусор. Так, мусор, 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 мусор. Все, нафиг мне это. Так, и просто предметы, чё? Так, ладно, сначала давайте с этим разберемся.
She has plagued the House of Ballads for too long. Good riddance. Come back soon.
Ой, господи, это же тренировка. Я думал, тут вендор. Ладно. Уже забыл.
Beautiful bell, and I look around thinking, what fool wouldn't pinch of it care to learn? It was nice talking.
Так, учеба это, конечно, классно, но это опять же не то, что мне нужно.
The threads of fate have arranged themselves in the proper pattern.
Ага, это сбросить талант.
And you have done as you were meant to do. I do not wish to speak of it. How I couldn't see these events, these days, until we meet again.
Так, блин, где вендора тут найти? Я уже пол этого прохождения занимаюсь какой-то хренью, на самом деле. Ну что поделать, приходится же как-то вспоминать, адаптироваться под все это. Да ё-моё, я что, через воду не могу прыгнуть? Это же просто вода, ну прыгни ты. Исцеление. Исцеление.
The maid got what she deserved.
Having a mortal leader in the House of Ballad will take some getting used.
Ладно, хрен бы с тобой был. Не помню, нахрена ты нужен. Потом, по ходу дела, разберусь. Так. Я сейчас нахожусь здесь. Так, если не ошибаюсь, Горхард — это наша начальная деревенька, и там у нас есть дичь продать и прочее. Да. Я не ошибся.
Come in. What do you need today?
Магазин. Продать мусор. Ну, нормально так. Продать, что я могу. Так, а эссенция судьбы что-то мне дает? Помню бы хоть что-то. Куча всяких хрени, я не знаю, нужна она мне.
Come see me again.
Да нет. Сложно. Так. Задание. Ё-моё, вот как эти задания... О. Так, это встретить Нералима, да? Ну, далековато, конечно, это находится. Так, что у нас еще есть задание? Так. Встретиться с Агратом. Так, это у нас вот сюда, да? Да, я хочу туда быстро переместиться, почему нет? Так.
Why, Miss Tharu, what is it you... Oh, hello. Did Thaddeus send you? Kester Barclay, my apologies. I don't mean to be rude. This crisis has me a bit on edge.
Имеете в виду кровавую чуму?
Yes, that's it. Did Thaddeus tell you? The boggarts carry it in their venom, and they're spreading it everywhere. Normally the things keep to themselves. Looks like some Jotun got into their lair, though. Forced the boggarts out.
Ты можешь вылечить чуму?
I can't, but Astrid Frisk, our healer, can. That is when she has the medicine to treat it. We've been running low. More should have arrived this morning. You can ask her about it if you're curious.
Может быть, я могу помочь.
You're either brave or a fool. But if you could kill the Jotun, perhaps the Boggarts would leave us alone. All right. Travel north to the Boggarts' lair in Coilsbane and clear out their cave.
Чем я еще могу помочь?
Driving the Jotun from Coilsbane would be the best thing you could do for us. Of course, Astrid Frisk could probably use some help as well.
Астрид Фриск.
Our own healer. As you can imagine, she's hardly slept since the outbreak. If you think you can be of any help, you most likely find her in her cottage, tending to the sick.
Кестер Барклей.
I grew up here. Seems like only yesterday I went to fight in the war. When I got back, I was the toast of the town. Thought I was through with all that fighting.
Кровавая чума.
It won't likely kill you. Leave you weak as a kitten there. Around here, that's as good as dead. That
Тадеус.
boy needs to rest. He's got the cough. Won't listen to me or his own brother.
Пещера Койлсбейн.
Coilsbane is a boggart cave just north of town. Well, it used to be anyway. A while back, some Jotun started digging in the caves. They drove the boggarts out, and right into our town. Don't know what the Jotun were looking for, or if they've found it, and I don't care. I just want them gone.
Богарты.
A single boggart we can handle, but 10, 20? It's only a matter of time before the whole town is infected. I can't allow them to run around unchecked, putting all the folks here at risk.
Дайденхил.
We're simple people here. Merchants, tradesmen.
Это город
We're
называется.
not equipped to deal with a threat like this.
Так, что тут Йотун?
Lumbering brutes. Almost twice as tall as a man and just as wide. Why they came to Glendara is anyone's guess. They just showed up one day. We weren't going to stop them. Please, hurry.
Так, просто поторопись. Так, карта местности. Так, надо какие-то кинжалы достать. Вот в пещеру Коулсбейн. Перед Свиллом Ридом Дайденхаля. Куча дел. Так. Вернуть сокровище. Так, ладненько.
What do you mean?
I'm
Jonas,
sorry,
you sure?
but there's no plague shield left.
No, at all.
I'm sorry, there simply isn't any more. It's gone. I'm sorry, but I'm simply out of plague shield. There's nothing I can do for you or anyone else till I have it. Blasted blood plague.
А это целительница. Для чего нужен моровой щит?
It treats the blood plague, which almost all of Daidenhil's sick with just now. Brother Fallon should have come with more. Can't think where he is.
Я поищу его.
Good, because the whole village needs that plague shield. Never mind what happened to that old oaf. I need the medicine. 3 parcels at least. Go up the road through Glendora Wood that leads to the mission. Bring the plague shield yourself if you must.
Еще раз, где моровой щит?
Well, Brother Fallon should have it, but then he should have been here by now. Go up into Glendora Wood toward the mission. See what you can find.
Кровавая чума?
Normally, I'd say it's not as bad as it sounds. Doesn't kill most of the time, just weakens. Only half the village has it now, and a bedridden village starves sooner or later.
Моровой щит?
Only thing for treating the blood plague. Few indeed have the skill to make it. I certainly can't, for all my years as a healer.
Дайденхил?
Lumpkins, oafs, and busybodies. Except for the poor bedraggled sick ones here in my care. I suppose they all mean well, only the airs coming out of these woods have addled their brains.
Люминица.
Well, she made no friends when she first settled here. Don't know which had less sense in their noggins, her or the crafter lot. And what I'd like to know is, why didn't she see it coming? On with you, get.
There are bandits out there, despite the plague.
Так. Дом целителя.
Another, is it?
Forsworn work? Good. The gold's run low and my mother's not doing so well. To the Warden's bridge it is. Aye, the one smack in the heart of Lorca. Go north of here, then east, then south along the road.
Мать Вилла.
The plague troubles Daidenhil. It's but a hindrance for the young and healthy. For her. For the older ones. Some get through it. Others don't.
Псы войны.
It's an honor to be taken as hireling, and they do look after their own. Since Mother fell ill, I've had more work and pay than ever before. I'm more grateful than I can say.
Дайденхил.
He'd seen its share of hardship, so I can serve in the militia and do what I can.
Милиция.
All able bodies must serve in turn. Since warsworn know how to fight, we're usually the first called. Farewell, Mother. I won't be long.
Так, и осталось еще по основному квестику зайти.
Ah, the castle. This tells me that your tavern will be a part of Loch Diamond.
It's your fault that I can't pay my tab, you know? I wasn't ever supposed to come back here in the first place.
I've spent the last 20 years knowing what fate had in store for me. And then you... Damn it. I thought I had my life figured out.
Вредить тебе не было в моих планах.
I know. It's just... I wasn't always the man I am now. In my youth, I was quite the warrior. I fought beasts the size of trees, was celebrated by mortals and fae alike. When I was initiated into the Fate Weavers, I thought it was a reward for my good deeds. The first time I saw my own fate, I realized it was nothing but a curse.
Что вы видели?
My own death, of course. But not a hero's death as I had always dreamed. I was going to die alone and unknown, killed by an Etin and used for stew. It was a terrible end, but I knew it was part of fate's greater plan. Then you came and changed that future. You stole my part in the tapestry. I was at peace with knowing the worst. But what do I do now that there's nothing to know?
Я его спас от смерти, он еще и расти. Вы все еще можете стать
You're
героем.
right. My glory days don't have to be over. And as long as I'm around you, I don't know how my story will end. That means I've got to make sure you stay around in one piece. Maybe this old trinket from my youth will help. After all, I don't just owe you my life. I owe you my future.
Улучшенное кольцо, проницательность. Окей. Есть успехи с поиском Туата.
Why, I once tracked the Yeth of Avgrun on a moonless night by smell alone. Fey or not, I could have tracked those Tuatha sober. They've set up in a cavern north of town, complete with some way of scrying your location. That's how they found you so easily. I have a plan, but it'll take the both of us to work.
Так, вы нашли что-нибудь?
These soldiers were sent out with one purpose. Finding you and making sure you stay dead. Everything else, the Well, Arden, Hughes, have all been collateral damage. They're using something big to track you. They call it the Eyes of Tirnoch. Smash it, and they won't be following you anymore. The main entrance is heavily guarded and will require a strong attack. The other route is trapped. It'll need a subtler approach.
Что им от меня нужно?
I don't have an answer for that. I can't imagine what about you made Gadflow send his troops across the continent.
Так, натыкать лоб, я проберусь в их тыл. Я думаю, я проберусь в их тыл.
Good, good. I'll charge in the front and get their attention. You slip in and smash the Eyes of Tirnoch. That way we'll make sure they can't escape to report back to whoever sent them here. Good luck. The longer we wait, the closer the Tuatha will get to finding you again.
Хотя, наверное, мне нужно было в лоб атаковать. Так, Агард.
Thanks for giving an old man another chance. It's good to know I've got a future again. And even better not to know what it is.
Так. Им это
I
не
don't
нужно.
have... His army is locked in a siege in Cluricar.
Война.
The Crystal War, they've been calling it. 10 years ago, the Winter Fae turned violent and attacked us in force, calling themselves the Tuatha Deum. They say it's their sacred duty to cleanse the mortals from their lands. Naturally, the humans and Alpha who live here aren't so happy with that plan. It's been going back and forth for years. Where there's war, there's soldiers nervous about their fate. And that's where I come in.
Так. Титариан.
He once offered me an honorary knighthood after I slayed the Dream Eater of Amora. He was quite gracious when I turned him down.
Камень судьбы.
The Destiny Stone showed us the tapestry of fate. But your power must have consumed it all. Everything except the wisdom at its core. The Codex of Destiny.
Кодекс судьбы.
The immortals inscribed their knowledge of fate into the living stone. I always thought it was a poetic way of talking about the theater. But there it is, in your hands. Keep it close, child.
Призмер.
Strange crystal, Prismir. It's normally a shade of blue, but when you treat it and charge it with magic, it turns blood red.
Godflow.
Gadflow is just some trumped-up fae who started hearing voices, I gather. But a crazy with an army is still a threat, sure enough.
Глаза Тернох.
The eyes of Ternok are two immense Prismir mirrors. Long as the Tuatha have them trained on you, they'll find you anywhere.
Гномы.
You know where you stand with a gnome. They're always so focused on their work or research or what have you, that they've got no time for lies. Shame, they try to stay out of fights. Much as we could use their help in the war, staying neutral is about the only way they can stay safe.
Дайденхил.
Used to be a quiet little town, but even out here they're feeling the effects of the war. More settlers, more bandits, and more trouble. And that was before all this plague business. This town needs a hero, but thanks to the war, they're all dead.
Зимний
You
двор.
know the Summer Court and Issa? Well, the Winter Court are their darker siblings. They're not evil, but they're definitely not nice.
Элина Шир.
Whoever that Aelin Shear is, I don't think she's our enemy. If she wanted us dead, she could have killed us while we were weakened. But she's still trouble. Reminds me of a dark elf who left me half naked and tied to a bar guest once. Now those were the days. Let's track down some trouble.
Так, а что, тут есть какие-то квесты еще?
You're a brave soul coming to Daidenhil. This little village is faring pretty badly, and I would know. I was in the war. It's in your best interest to fill your pack and depart as soon as you're able. The blood plague works fast, very fast.
Твоя жена ждет тебя.
You met Gisela? How? I sent that death notice. She should know that I'm dead. She cannot know that I survived. Call me a coward. Call me whatever you wish. I am not the same man she wed so long ago. I am broken. I cannot subject her to the nightmares, the wounds, the restlessness. I will spare her that torment.
Она ждала слишком долго.
Don't know. I've endured much, but perhaps she has endured even more. Her silent vigil has no doubt been as trying as my time on the battlefield. You're right. This reunion is one we both deserve. We have earned our happiness. How could I have ever considered anything else? Thank you, truly. Thank you.
Camden Wulflak.
You don't want to know about me. Besides,
Wulflak.
that name hardly means anything to me now. I came back different. A shadow of the boy from Goreheart.
Кровавая чума.
It's pretty nasty, and I've seen my fair share of infections and ailments. We had plenty of them in the trenches and on the walls of Melson Shear.
Кристальная война.
I'd rather not talk about it if that's okay with you. I think about the war enough as it is, and I doubt these wolves will ever let me forget it.
Мел Сеншир.
It was once an old Alpha outpost, nothing extraordinary, and it became the last line of defense, where we held back the Tuatha through long nights of fire. Melson Shear is where I lost this hand, and where I knew I'd never come home the same man that I left.
Хоронка.
I paid a scholar to fashion a false death notice, the kind the army uses to inform the next of kin that a soldier has fallen in the line of duty. A courier left with it several days ago. All my hope for Gisella's future went with it.
Вернуться к Гизеле Ульфлаг. Ладно.
What's that? Stupid bloody peasants. Alfred Gwilregas will not suffer to get this sickness afflicting this town. Now be gone. Take your poisoned air and get out of my sight. It's bad enough that I'll be quarantined here. Get away from me, you damned nuisance. I'm Alfred Gwilregas.
Какой-то петух, и у него квест нельзя взять. Ладно, хрен с ним. Так, уже прохождение так немножко затянулось. Ну, в принципе, за это время я вообще ничего интересного не сделал. Так, но вроде бы я смог как-то вспомнить управление, к чему-то привыкнуть, и возвращение в игру прошло более-менее успешно. Так что всем спасибо за просмотр. Если вам понравилось данное видео, ставьте лайк, подписывайтесь на канал, вступайте в группу ВКонтакте, нажимайте там какой-то колокольчик, я слышу, где-то есть. И всем спасибо за просмотр, удачи и пока-пока, ребята. Ну и разумеется, с Новым годом, сейчас же как раз новогодние праздники. Все, пока-пока.